Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How you doing? This is, you know me, Leonardo Garcia. We have Mr. John McKenna, and underneath, I don't know how you guys fit, but below me, I have the one and only Mark Tirolio, guys. And this is ETA, Entrepreneurs in the Arena. We have a little background music, so I'm just speaking a little loud. I am talking loudly, not yelling at you. And today we have a compelling and great show for you. Ready? Here's the title for you guys. I would get my pens and paper today because you should be doing the opposite because we're going to give you legitimate reasons that stop people from going into business for themselves. We're going to tell you what stops people. Now, we're telling you what stops people. What you should be getting from this information is why you should start. Whether that's my opinion, whether it's part-time, full-time, or all the time, I feel that we're going to give you the jewels and the gems that you need to know why you should start. But that's enough of me. I know you guys are done and love to hear my voice, but I'm going to send it over to the one and only Mr. John Medina, CEO. Take it away, brother.
Awesome intro, Leo. Awesome intro. So listen, guys, this is the reality. About 99% of people are not going to do nothing with their life. About 99% of people will not, in the world, will not ever start a business, right? There is a reason why there's a 1% and there's a 99%, right? And the 99% about the benefits and the lifestyle that the 1% get to live, right? So this is Mark's idea. We're going to pass it on to Mark Tirolio here. And Mark, tell us about what came through your mind when you said, hey, we should talk about legitimate reasons that stop people from going into business for themselves, man.
Great introduction, you guys. Now, let me say this: I was with a group of colleagues, people I went to school with, and it was only two out of probably 45 of us. We had a conversation, and probably two out of 45 of us was entrepreneurs. And I went around the room asking them, "Hey, look, so why wouldn't you work for yourself? What's stopping you?" And the common denominator was fear. Is two things: fear of rejection, right, and fear of failure. That's what came up. So, and when people say that, when people say things like that, I'm thinking they have that imposter syndrome. It's important to know who you're looking at in the mirror. If you don't feel confident enough to go into business for yourself, you're not going to do it. So it starts within first. It starts with the identity. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself wanting to answer to somebody else? Do you see yourself in control of your own destiny? Do you see yourself wanting more security? And people are afraid of the unknown. The unknown, what can happen tomorrow? I want to know how much I'm making by the end of this week. I want it to be guaranteed, no matter how little or how much it is. I want it to be guaranteed. I want to know. If I don't know, I'm going crazy. Most of the people I talked to, 99% of them, like John said, 99% of them felt the unknown was too intimidating. Now I touched on three things: imposter syndrome, fear of failure, and fear of rejection. What are, to y'all experience, what are some of the things that would kind of, let's talk about us. Before I tell you guys what stopped me when I first started, I want to hear from you guys. What kind of intimidates y'all from not starting a business from high school?
Yeah, so I'll tell you my experience, man. I know for a fact my father was an entrepreneur. I'm grateful for that man for that part of example that he lived, right? He didn't tell me about it. He didn't teach me about it. I saw him live it, right? So I believe my father from the age of like 24, he never worked for the man ever again. He died when he was 74.
Mm.
So talk to me about 50 years of just going at it on his own, right? And I'm grateful for the lifestyle that he gave us, right? He gave us a very, very good lifestyle when I was born, right? Up to the time that my father and my mother divorced, right? But one of the main reasons why I probably didn't start my business at 18 when I should have, right? Matter of fact, I should have started when I was 14, right? And go through all those failures of the first 4 years of all that experience and get me a mentor. By the time I was 18, I would have been unrecognizable.
Right.
Right. But first of all, is not knowing, right? The Bible says that my people suffer for lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, I'm doing the math here as I'm sitting with you. Earlier today, I was watering my plants. I got some plants. For you guys that don't know, I like plants, right? And I like plants that I can eat, right? So I'm watering my green peppers outside, and I literally took it from a seed from a pepper I bought at the store. All right, and I grew it from baby. Now the plant is having its first babies. I'm excited. All right, you guys who follow me on Instagram, you saw me being a proud dad like 3 days ago when my wife noticed that the plant has little peppers. Here's one. I'm cool with that. And I was watering earlier after actually, you and I were talking earlier, and I told you, hey, there's somebody calling me.
Yeah.
Well, that person was calling me to hand me money. All right. So I spoke with a person. I spoke with a team on speaker about not even 4 minutes. Decision makers, right? I send them the link. Literally, by the time I click exit, they already had paid the invoice, right? It was like, whoa, okay, they were definitely ready. They were not kidding. So I'm thinking while I'm watering my plants at that time, I went straight outside after that call to water my plants. And I'm thinking, dude, I remember when I first started business, I'm like, dude, if I could only make $100 a day, that would be freaking awesome. $100 a day. Humble beginnings. I said, if I could do $100 a day, man, every single day that I work, this is gonna be amazing. Like I remember back when I was driving Uber, my goal was to make $150 a day, because out of that I'll keep about 100, right? And that's how I started. And what kept most people, in my opinion, what kept me from starting business was first not knowing that there was an opportunity better than what I was trapped in. I was trapped in a $40,000 salary with about $12,000 to $15,000 in commission a year as an agency recruiter. That's nothing. All right. So for me, that little $700 and something a week felt like a good cushion. All right. I wouldn't work for nobody for that money now. They could not happening. I wouldn't get up in the morning for $700 a week. You know, it's like, dude, no. But again, for those that are living that lifestyle, $700 a week right now, I'd be comfortable for them. Right. But once you know that there's so much out there, your life changes. But for me, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how to start. And then obviously the fear of, man, how am I going to pay my bills? Right. But the good thing nowadays is you could be self-employed and start a business without taking so much risk on.
Okay.
How about you, Leo?
I'm a little different story, but the same idea as far as lack of knowledge. But
Yeah.
let's find some terms first. Stupidity and ignorance. Why do I say that? Ignorance is not knowing. I've always wanted to own something. As a kid, I remember going to a store saying, "Oh, I would love to own the store." Wherever I went, I wish I was the owner. I didn't know what that meant, though. I just wanted to own something, be able to be talking to people. The other part is stupidity. Why do I say stupidity? Because ignorance is not knowing. Stupidity is knowing and not doing better. So I'll even say as far as stupidity, because I let the ignorance take over. But while going through life, I realized that looking at my family, education stopped at a certain level. I didn't really have a role model to look at when it came to school. I've never really had a role model to look at when it came to be a man. I had an older brother that used to watch over me or after me, make sure I didn't get into any type of real trouble. But I wasn't the entrepreneur one in my family. My other two brothers were, but their entrepreneurship skills were elsewhere. So with me, my goal was to make a difference in people's lives. I didn't realize that I could do that due to my ignorance, being an entrepreneur. So I kept going through school, not even knowing what I wanted to do. All I knew is that I have two older brothers. If I make it past high school, I made mama proud. I made it past high school. I said my ending of my junior year, is when I decided I was going to go to college. I didn't even know I was going to go work for AT&T. Swear, kid you not. I went to school that they taught us telecommunications. At that time, AT&T and Singular were, I forgot the name of the company, but they're the ones that used to do the towers and all the wiring and the cities. And I had a connection. They were going to put me to work there at the age of 18. At the age of 18, I was going to make 80,000. I would have been rich, out of high school. I didn't know, but I got an opportunity to go to college, and I took the advantage of it because my counselor was friends with somebody else, and I actually qualified to be part of the Equal Opportunity Fund program, which is EOF, in a school. So my grades and that got me into school almost free. Very little loans. All I had to do was keep a 3.5, and the next year would be the same thing. So I made it through college, and I switched major 3 times. A lot of people ask me, why do I have so many masters? Because I had so many damn credits. I never came home. I stayed there in the summers and winters. So I took summer and winter courses. I switched from, I was in communications, met a teacher that told me I would never be on the radio or on TV. After half a year of taking courses, ended up doing English. And then I said, you know what? What inspired me? What helped me, a kid that lived in the hood? And I didn't live in a ghetto like you guys see, like Baltimore, but I lived in a hood. Every city has a hood, and I wanted to give them difference. So what can I do that can serve those people different? Why not education? So I switched from communications to psychology to education. And you know what? I grew a passion for helping and making a difference in people's life. Fast forward, I was introduced into this industry that mirrored what I was doing in school, but teaching people things that are not taught in school. And guess what? It was part of entrepreneurship. I was opening up my own business. Oh my God, how did I get here? So to make a long story short, which it wasn't that long, I wanted to give everybody a Reader's Digest version. The idea of how I got here is that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but first started with ignorance, then stupidity, and then a leap of faith. That's how I'm here. So what keeps me awake was ignorance and stupidity, the act of not knowing either.
So that kind of boils down to my reason too. My dad was an entrepreneur also. He's a landscaper. Worked for himself. We worked with him during the weekends over the summer, but I knew I didn't want to be a landscaper. But I knew early as a kid I wanted to be a businessman. I knew I wanted to work for myself. Because I was so talented at a lot of things, I couldn't narrow down to just one. But I always had it in my mind, okay, I'm going to be a businessman. I just sell donuts. I just sell candy bars. I sell video games. In the school, I was always a salesperson. So even when I was a ramp agent at the airport, I was trying to figure out how can I own my own airline. After that, I became an electrical mechanic. Then I got my license with the state to open up my own commercial electric company. I did that. It expired. And I thought about it, and it was too much hurdles, too much red tape in order to get started, right? And I think another reason a lot of people don't get started in their own business, they don't have the support. Let's think about this. All of your kids right now, just like you, John, growing up, is going to get that seed planted in their minds. Hey, look, you need to work for yourself. You're going to be an entrepreneur. If we plant that seed in kids early, right now, we're giving them that support. My daughter, she wanted to be a doctor since she could speak, and it's consistent to this day. She's 9 years old. But what we're doing, we're telling her, look, you're going to be a doctor, but you're going to own many branches of the facilities. You're not just going to be a doctor of working in your own medical center, but you're going to have many medical centers with many doctors that you're going to be managing. You're going to be showing them the ropes also. So right now she has the mindset of, okay, entrepreneurship, but at least I'm going to practice what I really want. And my passion is medicine. So how y'all feel about lack of support? What's your thoughts on that? Or do you have anything y'all can think of?
John, I'll go first with this one. I'll start by saying that the world is funny how it works. The world at least when I was born, everything was typical. Go to school, get a job, retire, live a beautiful life, right? Right now, I'm impressed with, hey, what's going on, Takira? I'm impressed with one of the, there's a partner of mine that her child is, I swear she was born to be an entrepreneur. She's already an entrepreneur. And that's this day and age, guys. You got to remember where we're living and where we came from. So when my mom was a child, going to school was a privilege. She was in DR. You didn't have to go to school. It's like your license. It's a privilege to go to school. Damn it, if your parents couldn't get you there and you didn't want to walk, whatever they say, 75 miles, you weren't going, right? So when she got to the States and she had children, it's the typical American dream. Go to school, get a nice job, retire. So I was following the typical American dream to my family. So when I went into entrepreneurship, ooh-wee, man, when I decided to literally retire early and just pursue this career, I got it all. What are you doing? Get a real job. You should work security. Mind you, I have degrees and I'm being told to go get a job being a security guard. I mean, she prefer I got a job. Oh man, because there's hard times, man. Entrepreneur goes through some hard times. That's just the life that we lead. We go through hard times to have a breakthrough, to change the way we live forever. As long as you have that piece of faith, belief, and a good circle. But as far as support from home, I was not getting. When I crossed six figures for the first time, the company I was in, they gave us a ring. Part of my speech, I have it recorded. I said, I want to thank my mom for not believing in me. That was my first line. I thank God, I thank the team, and I thank my mom for not believing in me. Because it sort of made me want to do it a little bit more, and getting there. And then I explained to people, it wasn't out of hatred, is I wanted people to understand that it's, as much as we hear it in our line of duty, a lot of people say, oh, your parents ain't going to believe in you. You're going to lose friends. People don't believe you until they start going through it. My mom would believe in me no matter what I do, but this is just something she didn't want for me. So she didn't want me to go through this pain. She wanted me to have security. She wanted the things that a job promises when you come from another country, that a job is very scarce. And being an entrepreneur, you're not making money. You're just doing it to survive. There is no, I'm going to make 100,000 selling rice. That's not the mindset. It's just, I'm going to sell rice to make enough money to be able to buy meat to eat with the rice that I already have at home. You understand? It's little things like that. So lack of support is big. If you are part of the right industry, though, I think nowadays entrepreneurs have it easy. I think that the times we're living in right now, entrepreneurship is actually accepted. The world is changing again. It's going back from 9-to-5ers to people owning stuff, owning businesses, be your own, broadering, you give me this, I give you that. Like, I think it's going back to that cycle. The world is going in circles. So I think it's easier to get support. I mean, how many businesses are there that are really original?
So I got to ask you this, Leo. So you said that it's more common now. Do you think it's more common now because of inflation? Because now think about it. Back in the days, think about the 60s, 70s, 80s. You just needed one person in the home to go to work. Now you need two people in the house to go to work, and they need they need to work double shift sometimes. Think about that.
I think it's more acceptable now, and
more because they want to, or because of mindset.
I think it's security. What a job used to give you was security. I love the air quotes, but that's what a job used to give. But now you can wake up in the morning and be fired. So since the security is no longer there, people are saying, I prefer to be do drop shipping, and I don't have to fire myself. That's my own business per se. I didn't have to create anything. And I'm selling something. All these skills that we used to use back then, now you have to use them because you're not secure anymore. You know what I found out, and I'll leave it at this to John. You know what? A lot of people became teachers, especially up north. There was something called tenure. When you make it through 3 years and 1 day, as a teacher, you're not getting fired unless you sell drugs or rape a child. You're gonna lose your job. You don't do your plan books, you curse, whatever. They can suspend you, whatever. But fired, oh, very hard. Once you tenure, that's almost like being part of a union, right?
So it's guaranteed income and guaranteed job.
As long as you don't do something incredibly stupid, right? You know what they don't have here in Florida? There's no tenure. You better be your best teacher every year, because you are not only, you have no security. They play a simple game: erase, replace, new face. So you better keep on your A game. That's what they're doing now. So that job security, even education, gone. So when you have no security and you are your only form of security, why don't you start your own business? I think it's just capital. Some people are thinking, we're taught to think big, but if you think too big, now you got to think capital. Who's gonna fund my business? And so if you keep it basic, that's why you have all these businesses that you could create your own business within a business. That's the major model now. That's it. Now you just got to depend on yourself, your efforts. You are your security. That changes the mindset of a lot of people. That's all I got. Go ahead, John.
I got you, man. I got you. And you said it. Like, in reality, a job, a W-2, where you pay taxes before you even see your money, all right, is the least secure form of income out there ever. Right? Because guess what? When companies have to cut back and they have to choose whether paying the electric bill that keeps everything running or firing 10% or 20% of the workforce, who do you think they're going to let go of first? They're going to let go of the 10%, 20%, right?
Right, the workforce.
That's it. Why? Because if they shut down the power, the whole business goes down. All right. And now with artificial intelligence, there's so many things that you don't need people for. Like, I own an agency, right? A marketing agency. And I don't need a copywriter anymore. I go to ChatGPT. How much do I pay ChatGPT? For free. And if I want the faster, newest, fastest, most vigorous version, I'll pay $20-25 a month for ChatGPT. I do not need a copywriter. Back then, you had to pay per words for a copywriter.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Every 200, 250 words, you had to pay X amount. All right. It was not you just go there and that's it. No, especially a very good copywriter, you blowing at least 5 to 10 G's just to write you a one-pager. All right. So we don't need that anymore. All right. Graphic designers. I don't do graphics on my agency anymore. I only do it for my clients internally. That's it. I don't offer as a service. Why? You go online and you put a graphic in within seconds. You don't even need to design it. You don't have to do anything. You go on a device, right? It tells you what you want, describe it, and we'll make it for you. We have one of those AI apps. You go in there and you say, this is what I want, make it for me. Boom. I want to see Donald Trump hugging, what's her name? It's not Hillary. What's the other lady that's going to lose? Yeah. That one. She's going to lose. I don't even know her name. But it's not a political show, but we know Trump is going to win. We need him back. But ill in that, you go in there and you say to this AI, hey, I want to see Trump hugging this lady, whatever her name is, right? And it'll make it for you. All right.
John, what do you tell me about registers? You don't even need people at the register anymore.
That's insane. Listen, is it Whole Foods or one of them folks that you don't even need to pay?
Right.
You have an account, you put it in the cart, you walk out, and he knows exactly what you put in the cart, and he bills your account.
They got that on Brightline, the train. I got something, and I just walked out and it scanned my card from my phone.
It's insane, man. You don't even need somebody at McDonald's making your friggin' food.
No, you don't even need people. They have a robot that brings it to you here in Orlando.
It's insane. Yeah. So all these low-level jobs, right? Even skilled jobs, don't be fooled. Website designers, I don't need a website designer anymore. I don't even sell websites anymore, man. Why? Because, dude, if they really want it, and they really don't want to even go and make it with a freaking AI. By the way, we have an AI system that makes the website for you. You tell them what I want on the website, what's the website I want, what's my color scheme. Boom, you press a button. Literally within 10 minutes, you have a full-blown website.
You know what's crazy, John? In Jersey, I don't know if they ever had this in Florida. I don't know how long you lived in Florida, but in Jersey, we used to have toll collectors. You know, in Florida, in Jersey, they still pump gas. Here, you pump yourself. But they used to have toll collectors. Toll collectors. There was a toll collector I met that made 6 figures. That job was created for people that came out of the military to have a job, to sit there in the toll and say $450. They take your money, give you a receipt. They got rid of every toll collector up north. They don't even have the booths. Now it's just this big rod, and as you drive, it takes a picture. And if you don't have Easy Pass, they send you a bill. They want to eliminate traffic. So I tell you that AI, automation, robots, all you need is someone to fix the robots. And thank God for that.
Mm-hmm. Even surgeons, man. There was I saw an article like a month ago. The first something procedure was done from a doctor surgeon that was miles away, and the patient was successful. You don't even need surgeons. And for example, I know surgeons, top surgeons, right? You know, they make over $500,000, million, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. They're freaking miserable. Mm-hmm. If you're an employee, you are freaking miserable. I had a guy a buddy of mine that his office and my office were right next to each other, right? In a different building. And this young kid is a professional videographer and photographer. He does like big, massive concerts, right? White kid, after all, right? He does very, very well for himself, extremely well. All right. His father, he said way too many things personally, but his father, just to narrow it down, he's the 4th generation of some specialty doctor. Right, his father was, his grandfather and great-grandfather, they were all doctors. And his father wanted to follow the footsteps. Highly paid, beautiful house. I think they have 2 houses. They have a mortgage on the pool. They will have this salt water pool that costs as much as a mortgage. Big pool. And he said, man, my dad is depressed. Why? He's in his 50s. He's a top-skilled, highly paid, whatever specialty doctor he is. I have no freaking clue. All right? That's all he knows what to do. Mm-hmm. And he's afraid with all the liabilities he already accumulated. By the way, a freaking house is a liability. A car is a liability. A swimming pool is a liability, right? All that stuff is a freaking liability. And what happens when you have liability? Now they got you by your knees, and now you have to go to work. You know how many people I know that I see physically that are miserable because they have to get out to go to work because they gotta eat and they gotta pay their bills, and they gotta pay for the car payment that they got themselves into because they had good credit, because they had a job. The system is made to trap you forever. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the statistics, most people that retire at 65, but 67, 68, 69, they're dead. Dead, gone.
Or they going back to work.
No, they die. If they don't go back to work, they die. Yeah. Why? Because God did not make us to not have a mission. Mm-hmm. And most people's mission throughout their whole life is they're programmed to go to work, pay the bill, go to work, pay the bill, go to work, pay the bill until you freaking die. And hopefully you get a pension, which don't exist anymore. All right. Or hopefully you get a 401k, which, by the way, try to retire of $400,000 today. God bless you. Good luck with that.
401k is a trap. That was something that was created for World War II and to bring more money to the U.S. People don't get it. And then one day they'll decide to speak to a financial advisor that can help them.
yeah, like 401ks. Like if you try to retire even in $1 million, I mean, how long you plan to live? You live on it, but how long you plan to live?
No, you live on it, but how will you live?
Exactly.
It will change the way you live.
But the whole point is this: why should people look into entrepreneurship? Is it for everybody? No. Most people don't have the guts. Most people don't have the strength to withhold the stress you go through. You know how much stress we go through, man? And until you know how to rewire your brain. By the way, I have a coach. He rewired my brain. Dude, I don't get stressed. All right? And when I get stressed, I drop on the ground and I do burpees until my heart falls out. All right? And he's gone. That's the biggest hack I've gotten since I got this coach, man. So grateful for this dude. All right. But that's the part. Most people, when they hear, oh, no, I'm not interested, they want to cry. And I know that because that used to be me. All right. I just got off a sales call. I pulled back on this sales call. This was literally right before we came here. Right. I'm selling a system. You guys know it's about 3,000, right? It's nothing big, nothing crazy. And I hear the tonality. I'm like, he doesn't sound excited. He sounds monotone. And I said, hey, so-and-so. I called him by his name on a Zoom call. It was just him and I. I said, dude, you don't sound excited. What's going on? And then he opened up. All right. And then we go to the point and I still hear no excitement. I said, hey, is this making sense for you whatsoever? How would you make sense of this? How would you make sense of getting this system? He goes, I don't make sense. What do you think most salespeople would say? They would sit there on their knees and lick the toes, right? I said, listen, no worries. I kept the same tonality, did not change. As a matter of fact, if you had me on a freaking heart machine, my pose didn't change either because I was not expecting a sale. I was not expecting to take something from there. What I was expecting is if I go in there and I can help this gentleman, I'm going to help him. If I cannot help them, dude, I'll take it back. No harm, no foul. All right. So he said, I cannot make sense of it. I said, I called him by his name. I said, listen, so-and-so, listen, no worries. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to waste your time or mine. Let's leave this here. All right. Once you're ready, if anything changes, you reach back out to me. You know that number that sent you all those reminders? That's how you contact us again once you're ready. All right. He goes, John, man, he sounded more relaxed now. He thought it was going to hard pressure him. He goes, you could sense, you could hear it. You could sense it on his voice. He goes, John, that he was relieved, man. He said, John, I really appreciate you. Really answer all my questions. He's an older gentleman. You know, I'm very thankful for you. And I would do just that. I will reach out to you once I'm ready. We ended at that. All right. Most rookies, they will sit there trying to lick their toes, man. Like trying to hard pressure. Dude, I don't do hard pressure close. Do I know rebuttals? I know rebuttals off my nose. Do I know how to handle objections? I get zillion of them. Do I want to go through that crap? No. You ready to buy? Does it make sense? Can you afford it? No. Have a nice day. God bless you. All right. No harm, no foul. But most people cannot go through that. Most people will sit there for another hour trying to convince somebody. Dude, once they make up their mind, they make up their mind. Can you change their mind? Probably. But I'm going to change your mind by getting me off this call within 30 seconds because I ain't going to waste another second. My time is valuable, dude. I don't even like to make freaking lunch anymore. We don't got time for that crap. 20 minutes making lunch, dude. Ain't nobody got time for that. We're trying to change lives here, man. We're changing our freaking generation, our bloodline. You know, Donald Trump, his kids, they're all freaking millionaires. Every single one of them. Because Trump had the guts to do it, and his father did it first.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That's that, man. Most people, they're too cowards, man. They go to work, and then they pass the same generational curse of a job. Just, I was going to say something else.
Just over broke, but I'll tell you what, man. I hear that a lot.
Go for it.
I hear a lot of people. I don't like the direction of putting down jobs because we need them. You can't have all chiefs and no Indians. That just wouldn't work in the world. Some people need their job, are very good at their job, and I commend them for it. Some people are built for a job. You can't have all chiefs and no Indians. It just doesn't work that way.
When you add something to it?
Huh?
No, keep going on that thought, but I'm going to add something to the job part. Like they don't have to leave their job. I'm gonna add a little nugget there for them.
Okay, I'm just saying, like I hear a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of them say like almost to the point that everybody should be in their own business. Maybe have a side job, but some people are really good in the job. Here's the horrible part. Doing a job where you feel as if you're not you feel like you're being choked, like you don't like it. I enjoyed teaching. I am blessed enough to be in an industry that I'm able to educate both client and business partners in something that is exciting to me, because if it didn't exist, the pay wasn't great, but it's better up north than it is down south. People make a wonderful living,
And some people, if managed done right, they start getting into real estate with their pension and live an okay life, which to them might be a rich life. I really enjoyed teaching. So to me, it wasn't a job. Did I have its bad days? Yeah, but so does entrepreneurship. Were they some great days? Yes, so does entrepreneurship. So I say that to say this. It's not bad to have a job, but you should love what you do. That changes the perspective of it, because not everybody's made to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody's organized. Not everybody. Some people, even in entrepreneurship, they're just the brain. They get an idea, they find somebody who could make that idea into reality, and that's all they do is make ideas. That's not an entrepreneur. That guy's just great at ideas. Somebody has to take that plan and mold it into something. So I just don't want to get caught up. I won't. As guests, and as you guys have your own mindset on that too. I don't want anybody to ever feel like entrepreneurship is the only way, but we are moving that direction in the world. Having a job is not like being in jail. Is the difference is
It is to me.
or like John says, having a daddy. I get it. But when I was a principal, I had to deal with the mayor. I mean, I got my days off. I had my pension. I had my things. It is what it is. But I enjoyed what I did with the children I taught. So the jobs, as long as you love what you're doing, I don't feel as that it's such a bad thing. I just don't want to put a stigma on jobs. And it just hit me right now. Like, wait a minute. I had a good job. I loved my job. But I know that this is better, and there were things that I didn't enjoy about it, because what I got into education was to change the way kids learned. And in order for me to do that, I had to become political. I don't like politics. So I reached my ceiling, my lid. I'll do anything but that. That's not what I want to do. So I had to find an exit plan. So that's all. I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
That's right. That's right. If you like your job, you enjoy it, and you enjoy the lifestyle and the limitations. Job equals limitations. Let's be 100. All right. You have a limited income. Everything is expensive now all of a sudden, right? Like when I'm talking about numbers, and it's happened a few times. I forgot what I heard. It might be somebody at church, and we're talking about something that was less than like $25, by the way. And that person said, "Oh, it's expensive." I know that type of person. I don't want to listen. I know the word that comes out of their mouth. So I eliminate myself from the limiting belief limitation. You're saying $25 expensive? Why? Because why they say that? It is true to them. Why? Because if you get paid $15 an hour, that's about almost 2 hours of your time to spend $25. So that's expensive. I agree with you. You're paying with your time. You're gonna die. You're freaking dying, dude. You know? Every one of us.
We need to change job to career, because jobs are different than careers.
Even careers suck. But yeah, we could do that. All right. But again, as long as you like what you're doing, all right, as long as you enjoy the limitations that comes with that career or job, limitations on what you can eat, the access to Medicare, medical health that you can get access to, where you live, what type of cars you drive. Matter of fact, I came back from Miami. I don't even like my car no more. I'm grateful for it, but I don't fit in it anymore. I told Jados, dude, I came back from your thing, and I feel like my car is too small for me now. So I'm looking into G-Wagons. That just got accelerated. I found one. We're talking. All right. Just to put it out there. I'm like, dude, I don't feel like my persona. Like, Papi, this is, it's like trying to wear your second grade underwear. Like, bro, it grew. We're not there no more. All right. I'm a big boy now. You know, so that type of thing is like, as a job is not bad as long as you enjoy the limitations that come with it. Where you send your kids to school. If your parents have an emergency that requires financial sustainability, do you have the capital to take care of them? That's a massive limitation, especially for us that have parents that are, getting older. If something comes up, like for example, when my father passed away, my father was sick for a long time. right? It was sickness due to digestion, which was caused by poor eating habits, right? We like mondongo, right? He taught me how to eat mondongo. You know, mondongo is basically the guts of the animals, right? But it's freaking delicious. I don't eat that.
It's tripe. It's tripe, coach.
Tripe. There you go. There you go. I don't even know what it is.
Stomach lining, tripe.
Chitlins?
Close enough.
Chitlins, okay.
I don't know, but it sounds way better in Spanish, mondongo, man. And my father taught me how to eat that. And I loved it, dude. He would take me every freaking week to a place in the Dominican Republic to eat mondongo, man. They made it like nothing before with some tostones on the side and some hot sauce. Look at Leo over there. I feel like he's not Dominican, bro. You know you're eating chicken feet. But all right, but going back to this before we make Leo throw up on the podcast, is this: look, as long as you're okay with the limitations that come with the income limitation that you have imposed on yourself, then that's totally cool, dude. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. If you wake up every day and you're not miserable about doing the same thing over and over again, cool. But let me show you a hack. If you like what you're doing, I promise you, let's say you have a salary where you're at or you're getting paid hourly. I promise you, if you go to that company and you ask them, what are the problems that you guys having problems with that I could probably do during the same time that I'm already here and get paid? Let's say, for example, they have a job opening and they pay $50,000 for that job a year. Say to them, be like, hey, I'm here already. I can learn how to do it and do it without jeopardizing either job and do both jobs at the same time. And listen, say, hey, instead of paying me 50% or $50,000 plus all the benefits that come with it, why don't you pay me, let's say 50% of that, $25,000 additional. And I'm going to do the same job. You don't have to pay me for the benefits. You don't have to do any extra liability. All right. When you own a business, you have additional liability per employees. So there's an additional cost than the $50,000 they're paying you. So they're paying you $50,000. You're costing them about $70,000, $80,000, depending on what state you're in. All right. So think like a freaking business owner. All right. And if you could do both jobs while you're there at the same time, even if you had to add an extra hour before and an extra hour after, dude, you just made more money in something that you quote unquote like. All right. And you still got a daddy. By the way, a daddy is a boss, right? He's a boss. That's what I mean by daddy.
But you know, some passions, I know Leo said passions earlier. Some passions don't translate well in entrepreneurship and business in order to pay the bills. I noticed. Like,
say that one more time. Let it hear in the back.
Some passions do not translate well in entrepreneurship.
Let's break that down, man. What do you mean?
I know Leo, he's shaking his head. Leo said passions earlier.
Some passions don't. They don't. I mean, I was lucky enough that I love teaching and it transfers into entrepreneurship, but some just don't. I can't think of one off the top of my head that wouldn't right now, but not everything's transferable anyway, period. At the end of the day, I just feel that if you're doing entrepreneurship, to me is something that's coming back around. That's because we have all these affiliate marketing and affiliate this and affiliate that, and people paying their own taxes because they're tired of paying Uncle Sam, so they're finding how they could pay Uncle Sam less and keep more. But at the end of the road, as long as you live a happy, fulfilled life and you ain't hurting nobody, I don't see the problem with it. But yes, entrepreneurship is the only way to break the limits. I agree with you with there. It's the way to break the limits. But you were talking about a doctor. He's miserable, right? But that's the choices he's making at life. It's not his salary. He chose to be a doctor. The reason he got there, he must have had a passion for it at one time. Something happened in his story that he hates it. But it's not the profession, because to be a doctor takes a lot of damn schooling.
A lot.
And to be a specialist takes even more schooling and more skill. Some of it, and most likely, very natural skill. A heart surgeon, brain doctor, all these people got a talent is way beyond just reading in the books. But somewhere along the line, they get miserable. It could be time. It could be that they're stealing a lot of time from them. But that's a choice they made. That means that they chose not to be happy. There's also a lot of doctors They basically live in a hospital and they love it. That's their thrill.
Mhm. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. We need them.
We have a virtual office and we got agents that are there from 8 in the morning until 10 at night. They love it. There's nothing you can do about
So
that.
is it if I'm too far saying that they love it while they're doing it? They get an adrenaline rush
They
while they're doing it.
they get lost when they retire.
But when they done working, like say for example the surgeons, they feel like superheroes. They get up, they feel good, they do the surgery, and after they wore out, then they go home. Now they feel miserable. But then when they get back in the office, into the facility, that adrenaline comes back again. They fired up. But then when they done, it's done.
Yeah, they're in love with their job and that moment and that thrill and the adrenaline junkie. I get it, but that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not speaking against entrepreneurship. My thing is that let's keep in mind that there's two sides of the coin, and I think we're turning more into entrepreneurs now, and I love it because it's giving a lot of people. Look, man, there's kids, and I use the word loosely, kids, 17, 18-year-olds that are making more money than we probably will get to in this lifetime right now because of the way they've been started. And it all started with the way the world is now in social media and entrepreneurship. It's just entrepreneurship is the way to go now. Kids are learning how to do it. I think it's a great thing to have because you set your rules, your boundaries. It makes the world a more colorful place, more creative place. What we're doing through entrepreneurship is that we're gonna eventually, if not already, eliminating money. It's not always gonna be about money. Is I could do this for you because I got this skill. Can you do that for me? Back to the old way of things, where you're taking Big Brother's hand, and Uncle Sam is losing his hair right now. All that white hair, he's pulling it out because we're learning as human beings. I think entrepreneurship is bringing people together. I'm not against jobs though, because we hire people every day. John, who does your laundry?
Bro, I'm gonna have to hire my wife. She does my laundry.
Well, but you know, there's a lot of people that hire a laundry service. Entrepreneurs don't have time to clean their own clothes. They hire
lawnmower. We got someone for that. Yeah.
So you're creating a job. We can't speak against something that we create. How many of us need an assistant? We created a job. And you know what? The assistant loves what they do. And we love that they do it.
It's also.
Huh?
An assistant can turn that into a business also.
Oh, and they do. And most likely they do.
They can grab a camera and they're going to be teaching people what they're doing day by day.
Yeah, but that's why I'm just trying to. I guess my devil angel's advocate mindset right now is jobs are necessary, but I think that nowadays, let me not use but because I heard everything after but don't matter. So let's use the word. However, even people that have jobs should have or use their skill to develop some type of business. Just in case Uncle Sam ever wants to control that. You still have your skill at what you do, and you're able to create, deliver, or do something that people pay you your value.
Yes.
So entrepreneurship, I think everybody should do it, but let's not eliminate jobs out of it. Let's not say, "Oh, if you work, you suck." Like, I don't know about that. I need somebody to do my laundry. I got the cleaning lady pay her. I pay somebody to take out my garbage. Yeah, slow down. I don't want to take out garbage. They can take out my garbage, and they could create their own business or a bunch of garbage men. I don't care, but I pay somebody and create a job. I think that everybody should be involved in entrepreneurship, but not everybody's made to be a 100% entrepreneur. Between mindset, strength, discipline, affirmations. Oh my God, you're talking about so much that people are not willing to do. There's one thing that we haven't said. To be an entrepreneur, no matter where you say it and no matter where you go, you hear one thing. You have to pay the price. Are you willing to pay the price? That right there will tell you if you got what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Because we're talking about jobs. Oh, I missed my kids' games. How many entrepreneurs get to go to the first 5 years of the kids' games? You can't. You're sacrificing. You got to pay the price. So it's not as easy as, easily said. Now, once you get to a level, smooth sailing. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it, man. That's it. Well said, man. Well said. And that's true. You know, we still need people. Like, for example, like my wife used to did a Dunkin's run, right? She went to Dunkin' Donuts real quick, grabbed some things, and guess what? Into Dunkin' Donut comes out with one of those machines like McDonald's did that make your drink for you. We need those people there, right? And that's how the economy moves, right? Well, you got people to do this, to do that, right? And for example, I don't cut my lawn. I moved to Florida. I said I'm never cutting a lawn. I think I've done it twice, and I feel like my neck got red. I understood the definition of redneck, right? And literally your neck gets burned. I didn't know that, right? That happened to me once. I'm like, never again, dude. I'm all set, and it's that part. It's like, for example, man, you got to know, like, hey, am I content with the way I'm living, or do I want a better lifestyle? All right, that's what it comes down to. Ultimately, that's it. And is your job giving you the lifestyle that you truly want? Not the one that they sold you that you need, or the one that they told you that you could live, but truly the one that you want. For example, go down to Miami. I was just there, 2 weekends ago. And you see things are different out there. You see luxury vehicles, you see the mansions. What you focus on, you see, right? Obviously, there's a lot of homeless people. I saw that too, unfortunately, right? I did see part of the city that was kind of trashed. But if you look at the right places, man, there's some serious stuff out there. That's just in one city. Forget about LA. How about LA? All right. How about New York City? All right. It depends what you focus on. But it's like, dude, do I want to live the restriction that I live in now, or do I want to just go out there and experience life the way God intended to? For example, you haven't gone to the Bahamas. You haven't gone to Hawaii. You haven't gone to other parts of the world yet. You haven't gone to India. I haven't gone to India yet, and I'm so looking forward to it. I'm bringing a box of Pepto-Bismol. Matter of fact, I might bring a suitcase of Pepto-Bismol just to go to India, right? Because every single person I hear that goes to India, they got some serious stomach problems.
Spicy food, very spicy food.
Spicy food and different germs. You go to a different country, there's different germs, right?
Yeah.
Like literally there's different germs that we're not accustomed to. All right? Because it's a different part of the world. So you expect stomach aches, or just take care of your stomach before you go there, because you're gonna pay for it.
I'm going fast now. I'm gonna fast when I'm going to just drink water. That's it.
Drink some baby wipes, All right, but that's the part, man. It's like we haven't experienced the amazing things that God made. All we know is get up, go to work, get up, go to work, maybe go to church, maybe hit the gym, right? By the way, you should be doing all those, by the way.
Absolutely.
All right, but once in a while, dude, say, hey, I want to take a month off, man. All right. But in fact, I wouldn't take a month off. I'll be so bored.
You could only do that with entrepreneurship. That's for sure. You buy your lifestyle through entrepreneurship.
Even with that, man, like Grant Cardone said this. Grant Cardone says, I hate going on vacation. But when I go on vacation, I go for 2, 3, or 4 weeks at a time.
Oh, that's too long for me.
No. And the reason why he says this is he wants to get it out of the system for him and his family. He has 2 kids, 2 daughters and a wife, right? So he said he goes for so long, 2, 3 weeks. Like, dude, you get freaking bored. All right? You get bored. I don't want to be doing the same thing. He's like, dude.
Yeah.
All right. But that's that part, man. Why should someone become an entrepreneur? What is an entrepreneur? It's someone that just makes their own path. Someone that creates their own way. Someone that creates their own luck. Right? But I'll tell you this. The biggest mistake I see and I did it too, with entrepreneurs, is that you get into the business for money. Money is the forefront of every single driven decision that you make. And that's the fastest way to go broke. Why? For example, like I mentioned earlier, I was on a sales call right before I came here. Right? He came from one of my ads. I didn't look for it. I didn't call him. None of that crap. He saw my ad. He scheduled himself. My system brought him to me. Right? I have an automated system. You guys use it. Right? They come to me. I ain't chasing nobody. I don't do cold calls. I don't be knocking on doors. I ain't going out there asking for no referrals. I'm not networking. I did all that in the beginning, and I hated it because it consumed my time, and I look like a beggar. And I am begging for nothing by the grace of God. If I'm going to humiliate myself and humble myself, it's only to one. His name is Yahweh, God, the only living God. I don't humble myself before nobody else, right? So they come to me. Now imagine if I was with that, what they call commission breath. All right. That call would have turned into a 2-hour call, just me trying to beg that man to change his mind. All right. And it would be a bad experience for me and a bad experience for him. What did I hear? I started addressing the hesitation, because you know people's voices when they're hesitant. You know people's voices when they're uncertain, right? If you know how to read people, right? And you just address it. Back then, I used to go around it. I used to go over it. I used to avoid it because I don't want them to come up with the objection and then I lose the sale. No. I'm coming out with the objection. I'm pulling them out of your hair. All right? And if this don't make sense for you, it don't make sense for me. I'm here to collect your money. I'm not freaking the IRS. All right? It's not how I roll. But when you go into entrepreneurship, don't go for the money part. Leave that like out of your equation. And it's hard to do. It's so hard to do.
It is.
All right? Because you got to pay bills. You got to eat. You got to pay the rent. You got to pay the mortgage. You got to pay the car note. You got to pay the insurance. Matter of fact, I did so bad for a while that I didn't even have insurance on my car. For a long time. Over a year. By the grace of God, we made it. All right, a lot. But listen, when you go into business, money, take it, put it on a piece of paper, burn it. Because if you chase the money is running from you. You don't chase something that you have. Like I ain't chasing this phone. It's in my freaking hands. I have possession of this phone right here.
Abundance.
All right?
Yeah.
It's mine. Now, if I'm playing, I don't even know sports. I ain't even gonna try that. But if you're chasing a cat that ain't yours, it's running from you. You might catch it, but it's gonna keep running from you every single time you open your hand. That's what money chasing is. Don't chase it, bro. What do you want to chase? Greatness. You want to chase becoming the best version of you, physically, emotionally, spiritually, morally, right? And work on you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first 3 hours of my day, who do you think I work on?
John.
The only one.
That's right.
The only one. Because if this machine is not properly oiled, everything crumbles.
Right.
All right. So I wake up at 5. I don't take my first meeting until 9 a.m. I don't do no meeting before 9 a.m. I even had some clients with the audacity of asking me, like I have the audacity to ask, and they're good paying clients too. And they're new. They don't know the system yet. They don't know how John works yet. All right. But they asked me, hey, can we meet with a team on Sunday at this time? I'm like, no, baby, we don't do that. I offer them a time for Monday. That's the next business day.
Right.
It's like once you go to freaking Apple, and I don't know who the CEO of Apple is now, but say, hey, I want a meeting with a CEO right now. Yeah, good luck, buddy. We'll cancel your freaking plan. Take a hike. All right. That's the mentality you want to have. Nobody controls your time, and you got to let them know your time is valuable. Because if you don't treat your time with value and respect, they'll play with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't believe your time is valuable, neither is your product. You know how many insurance agents I know? You call them right now, they pick up. They could be freaking pooping. They'll pick up the phone. You hear the toilet flushing. You hear the echo in the bathroom. All right. You know how many real estate agents I call right now? Mortgage professionals. They could be freaking burying their grandfather, and they'll pick up the freaking phone. Why? Because they don't value their time. Like, no, dude, I could be having freaking a piece of gum right now, and you call me, I am picking up. It's not how it works, man. And I used to pick up, and my heart is to go boom, 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 boom when I get a call, because I'm like, I gotta answer it. Like, dude, no, chill. Like, I do sales calls with insurance agents, and once in a while a call comes in, and they're like, oh, it's a client. Hold a minute. Like, you son of a gun, you better not take more than 2 minutes, because I will hang the call. And I have, by the way. I've left the call. I'm like, dude, you took 5 minutes. I'm out of here. It's my freaking time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. But you got to value the time and put money to the side, man. That's my biggest advice.
Well, my advice is, because a lot of people, they don't know what to do. They don't know the next steps. They don't have. I would say, no matter what you're doing, by whatever you love. You like painting. You love coloring. You love planting. You can be an entrepreneur doing that. Hey, make a documentary about it. Hey, go live every day about that. Then start selling your ebooks. Start monetizing your social media. Anything. There's a niche for everything. Somebody want to watch you. I love the color red. Let's talk about red. Come make a YouTube channel. Hey, this is red everything. If you love the color red, hey, you should jump in here. There's so many ways you can monetize and be an entrepreneur by just loving what you like. So that's
it, man. That's it. That's it. Like literally just love your passion and make sure there's something that other people will love too.
That's right.
You know, it's like, for example, we didn't love iPhones until iPhone made iPhone.
We like the Blackberries, right?
Yeah. Or the flip phone, right? That's what I had before this thing. You know, or the kick side or sidekick or whatever it's called. Right? That's what I had, man, before I heard of an iPhone. Even before, you know, I heard of the BlackBerry first, but I couldn't afford it at the time. I was getting paid $9 an hour. You know, I literally was paid $9 an hour for a job, man. And I thought I was balling. I was 18. I thought I had it at $9 an hour. And then I got a raise to 10. What? Balling, brother, at 18. All right. That's what I thought until it was time to pay the bill. But man, listen, we're gonna wrap it up right now. This has been a great session. And what we want to leave everybody watching this right now is, listen, if you're content with your life and you're happy, which by the way, you should be happy whether you got money or you don't got money. You should be happy whether you're healthy or whether you're sick. You should be happy whether you're on your deathbed or you just got born yesterday. Why? Because a grateful heart is going to attract grateful things and good things into their life. The moment you turn ungrateful and you start thinking about the things that you do not have, you're going to attract more crap you don't need in your life. That's how it works. That's how it works. And I tell you that by experience. Every time I focus on the things I haven't had, I attract more of the bad things that I didn't want to get. All right. Once I focus on, a client canceled, I'm going to cry like a little baby. Guess what? 2 or 3 more clients will cancel after that. Good luck with that. Right. Once I got a chargeback and I'm like, oh, no, not a chargeback. And then you get 2 or 3 more after that. Why? Because you're attracting it. You are a magnet. And that's the great news. You are a magnet. So focus on the things that you want. Focus on your goals. Focus on your dreams. Focus on where you are going. Not on the money, but focus on the things that are going to bring the money. All right. Like today, I was chilling. Today, I got my ads running, right? I got my ads running, up and running. It's a machine. That's what brings in that and my affiliate program, referrals, whatever you want to call it, right? That brings it in. Or they see it on my social media and they contact me, right? And I'm sitting around. It was like, I don't even know what time it was today. I'm like, dude, I'm bored. I'm bored. What can I do right now? I got to do something. And I started telling my wife, I want to buy some bicycles and go for bike rides. And then I was like, man, ain't nobody got time for that. But the whole point is this. Let's stop thinking about money. Start thinking about and being grateful for what you desire in your life. And it's going to come to you. So we'll wrap it up with this session, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like this channel. Follow it, share it. Don't be selfish, share it, because this will touch somebody and help them. Trust me. All right. So we wrap up with this, boys and gentlemen. Have a blessed day. Any final words, folks?
Follow your passion.
Don't be scared. Don't be feared. Yeah, no scare, no fear. And you can't say you don't know, because now we already feel the ignorance.
That's right.
You didn't know, now you know. Be blessed.
Take it easy.
All right, folks. Take care.
Good job, man.